there are some losses that sting and maybe leave a mark a little bit beyond the night or the next day. This could be one of them when you consider everything that went into it and everything that happened to transpire.
For a game that started so slow and methodical, and you could see the way that Columbus was playing, the Rangers weren't buying it. They weren't playing into them and trying to go off the rush and giving up rush chances. I thought they played a really smart game. I can't believe we're talking about a loss right now. This is the most devastating loss because the Rangers played that well. They played an A game. That was their A game tonight. And to lose that game, it hurts even more because you executed exactly the way you wanted to, except for on the 2 goals. I think that when the Rangers stand up and they're on their feet and they're defending, toe caps ahead, they're the best defense that they could possibly be. They're their best version of themselves. But you give up 2 goals in a game, John, that you controlled for the most part, and you're up 1-0 in the third period, and to lose in the last half minute, this is really going to silence the group. It's going to be a quiet locker room.
Yeah, well, and maybe we shouldn't sit here and wonder why the Rangers were only able to score 1. Yes, Elvis Merzlikins has been unbelievable in goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yes, he didn't play tonight, but they came in with a 4-game winning streak in which they allowed 2 goals in 4 games. That always obviously has more to do with just a goaltender.
Yeah, look, they're a top 5 defending team in the NHL. John Tortorella is squeezing every bout of consciousness out of these guys because they're not that talented. I mean, you lose Duchesne, you lose Panarin, you lose your starting goalie Bobrovsky, but they're giving up less than they gave up last year. I think they know that. Nobody on this team, the Columbus team, cheats. There's no cheating for offense, and there was very little give and take in this hockey game for the most part. Most of it was in the offensive zone of each team. High cycles and chances from up top. I still like the way the Rangers played. I think it was very difficult for them to lose this hockey game based on the performance they did have.
Yeah, the Rangers did not have a power play tonight. That hadn't happened yet all season. The Columbus Blue Jackets had 1. The Rangers killed it off and then scored a goal right after that penalty was over. Just like they did the other night on Long Island with Tony DeAngelo, it was Brady Shea jacking the box out of the penalty box, and he scores the goal.
It's unbelievable how often we see this, but it started with a great PK, and there was a lot of really good things on this penalty kill. Again, Lindgren was there, and he was very impactful. I love this rush play here by him. Imagine if he scores off this, but smartly gets off. He gets off the ice right away and then changes, and the Rangers did pack it in. Their structure was strong. This was a game where it was relatively routine in a lot of ways for the goaltender to play this game. He didn't have to be too crazy east-west. Don't get me wrong, he still had some great saves in this game, but the PK was nice, and then you see Shea be able to get ahead on this play and then go upstairs. This was a smart shot because the goalie was caught deep. He's deep in the net. He plays really low. There was a lot of moments in this game I thought that Sergei Bobrovsky was in the net. He's wearing the same equipment. He's got the same stance. He plays the same way. Up top was available, and a number of shots the Rangers did have in the slot area just missed up high. And sometimes you wonder if you're aiming small, you tend to miss big.
Yeah, well, when you look at the numbers, they had 7 shots on goal in the second period. They missed the net 8 times in the second period. So they carried that 1-0 lead from the first to the second period. In the first intermission, you and I talked about the Rangers taking time and space away from the best player on Columbus, or at least the most dangerous offensively, and that was Cam Atkinson. How did that, or did it not continue into the second and third?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's so important for every defenseman to understand that when you're facing a shooter one-on-one, they are trying to draw you in and use you as a screen. That's why in the first period, I love the play where you've got good back pressure. Trouba stays up. He's got a good stick, and you've got help from your forwards to get back, and you contain. And this is the play right here where you sort of see Trouba gets caught a little bit deep because Panarin drives by, which he doesn't do very frequently. But now you go into this position. See where Trouba's stick is positioned? That allows Bjorkstrand to move the puck 3 or 4 feet closer to him. Look at Shesterkin. His balance is all shifted to his left, and when you look at it from that perspective, you really want to see your goalie have an equal balance, left side and right side, 50-50, have a head balanced in the middle. As soon as he starts to leak over to this side, that becomes advantage shooter now on a shot that your goaltender would stop. if he saw it with clear sight and not being screened from that distance.
Oliver Bjorkstrand had missed 13 games with a rib injury. This was his first game back. That was his 13th goal of the year. He would score with 26 and a half seconds remaining to win it for the Blue Jackets on a night where Igor Shesterkin made his third career start, had allowed 3 in each of his first 2. There was so much attention paid to him. Yeah. Give us the assessment ultimately.
What was exciting for me to watch unfold was he was building a game, right? Because he had the weight hanging around his neck in the first 2 games where he gives up 2 goals in the first period of each of the 2 games against Colorado and New Jersey. Now he's building a game, and it's really neat to see a guy get confident and be able to see the puck the way that he did. There's another play where you go down to one knee. Those saves are becoming more difficult, not just to stop, but to control the rebound. I loved his poke check. A lot of goalies use it when they're not confident, John, but I see it where he's using it as a weapon. We talked about his glove and how strong it's been, but I think he's done a really good job of establishing himself now as a comfort for the players, knowing that he's going to be there. There's another example of poke check. He had 3 in the game, and this one right here is spectacular because it's taking away a breakaway. And look, when players know that that's a possibility and they're looking at the goaltender and they're coming in one-on-one and they're waiting for it, well, now hesitation sets in on the shooter, and I think it becomes advantage Shesterkin. So that's another neat little part of his game that we don't see much with Lundqvist, Georgiev, most any goalie in the league. Most guys aren't using the poke check nowadays.